Today's episode of Gear Abby is presented by the one, the only, the most delightfully alliterative outdoor retailer in the game, Garage Grown Gear. Want to see the latest and greatest coming from the coolest and newest outdoor brands? You sure do. Head over to garagegrowngear.com, click on the new button, and all shall be revealed, including the following. Time to go full wool. Full wool. I feel like you have to say that.
Full wool?
No, but in your voice. Time to go.
Full wool.
Yeah, that's right. With Intimates.
It's almost like one word.
Right. It's time to go full wool with Intimates Brownwin. They have bras. They're really good, by the way. I have one. They have compressive shorts. They have underwear. Discerning adventurers agree that wool is the best choice to wear next to your skin, and now you can get your Brownwin on Garage Grown Gear. You can also get an amazing ultralight 25-liter pack by Virginia Foothills Designs, built for hikers who have their kit truly dialed in, tampons and all. And lastly, if you support Gear Abby, you should definitely support Kula Cloth. Garage Grown has the newest colors and styles from the outdoor community's #1 pea cloth, Kula. Whether you're an ultralight backpacker or just an outdoorsy person who wants to see outdoor innovation at its best, you'll find something to love when you head to the official gear shop of Gear Abby, garagegrowngear.com.
You got questions going out of your mind. Someone with answers now that's hard to find. Like the what and the why and the how stuff works, or just where to go to avoid all the jerks. She's Gear Abby, Gear Abby, Gear Abby, advice that doesn't suck. Gear Abby.
Hello there, my outdoorsy friends, and welcome to Gear Abby, where we tackle the controversial, weird, obscure, and taboo topics that other outdoor podcasts refuse to touch. I'm outdoor educator and writer Shawnté Salabert, and I'm here to answer your burning questions about our relationships with outdoor people, products, places, and pastimes. And I want them all, because remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice. All right, good friends. Hello. This is how it works. You're going to send questions to deargearabby@gmail.com. I'm going to answer a few each week here on the show, along with this guy, my partner in gear, the producer of Gear Abby, and a guy with the floppiest hair this side of 1997, Colin True.
You know, when the last you saw, that was a product-free day, I think, which led to some
Was
flop.
it?
At the same time,
Wow.
listen, if it fits, it fits. And era be
that's right.
damned. I'll go a little longer on top, just suits me. Anytime I go shorter,
Yeah.
I'm like, not
I don't
for
know.
me.
I don't think I could handle it. I think it would be weird for me. I think we'd have to stop doing the podcast. I would have to gouge out my own eyes. It would be a really destructive thing for me. So please don't cut
would.
your hair.
I definitely prefer. I think also the not that we need to get into the producer Colin's grooming habits
I
corner or
want to
anything
know
like
all
that.
about
But,
it.
I definitely, no matter what the situation is with my hair and headphones, it doesn't seem to mesh real well. So I definitely feel like when potting with a hat is the way to go for me.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing your locks free flowing last time.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, there's something, I think we even talked about it. Like, what's happening in there? Are you having an emotional breakdown? Is this a midlife crisis? I
It
don't
was
know.
looking good until I put on the headphones and it kind of like forces the drapes forward, you know?
Curtain bangs for men.
Yes, yeah, just like not good.
Nah, well, that's okay. I always look like I have. See, nobody can see it. Nobody should see this. I know you used to post clips. I'm glad you don't anymore because I'm not bringing my best to the table when we record. No offense to you, Colin.
Listen, it's really easy when you start seeing the conversion rates from social media to podcast downloads to be like,
You're like,
fuck the social media.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Oh, man. Well, you know what people do care about? National parks, Colin. Did you see that Arches is bringing back no reservations? Like, people are just going to be able to go buck wild again.
They're bringing back the Anthony Bourdain show? That's amazing.
Yes. He's being resurrected in Utah. It's a special program. It's probably like an Area 51 thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, so they're
the
going
power
back.
of the Mormon faith,
I
apparently,
know.
right? You
There's
can
a
bring
lot.
back
There's
Tony
a lot
Bourdain.
of them. Yeah, it turns out you just have to give people one thing to focus on, and then they can do it. So maybe we need some Mormons in maybe Congress. I don't know.
I'm dodging the topic here. So what's happening that's terrible about
are
our
you
national
dodging?
parks?
What now, Shawnté? Arches. So Arches is one of the parks like Yosemite that instituted a reservation system a while ago to control just because it was getting so overcrowded. Have you been?
Oh, yeah.
Arches?
Yeah, I've been in Arches a
okay.
bunch of times. Yeah.
Have you been in the line that sometimes forms, or have you just been lucky?
I've been lucky. I was already in Moab, and we just kind of, yes.
You
I've
were
been
there
lucky.
in the 90s, you and your floppy hair.
And my hair, yes, exactly.
Yeah, so they were like, yeah, we're just not going to do that anymore. So people, the interwebs are up in arms. Like, it's funny because remember when they instituted the reservation systems, people were up in arms then. And now people are like, oh, yeah, I guess that shit worked. So
If there's one thing we can count on, it's people being up in arms, regardless of what's happening.
That's true. I guess that's just what the internet does best is rankle people.
Well, speaking of arch, yes, rankling. Like
love a
we
rankling.
need more rankling in the world. Speaking of arches, though, pop culture recommendation for anyone living and maybe
Anyone living,
who's listening.
just anyone alive who's listening. Not you dead
most
people.
popular podcast among dead people.
We got to be number one somewhere.
And maybe for you as well, have you seen The Dark Wizard on HBO?
Oh no, it's the Dean Potter movie, right?
It is
documentary.
So good. And I think we maybe think with arches because the first episode deals with his delicate arch climb, which was very controversial at the time. But it is so good. It captures everything you want from an outdoor any kind of film or whatever, while also getting really into. And it's very speaking of the '90s and curtain bangs and all those kinds of stuff. It definitely if you lived through that, it's definitely reminds you of oh my God, this is why I started doing outdoorsy stuff in the same era as these people. But it's really well done. So highly recommend The Dark Wizard on HBO.
All right, I'll take your recommendation and I'll think about it. Now I'm feeling nostalgic. I don't know, you said the 90s, then I said the 90s, and you said the 90s, and now I'm nostalgic for the 90s. I'm imagining Eddie Vedder is here with us. His hair is even floppy. It's not even floppy. His hair is just
epic hair.
Yeah, wavy. Grecian? Is it Greek? No, it's not Grecian at all.
It's Grecian? It's better Greek?
You know what? I'm not a hairstylist. I don't know if you knew this about me, but not one of my many skills. Don't send your hair questions in, people.
Short answers, apparently.
Short, very short. All right. Well, let's get to other answers that may or may not be short. Or questions. Let's do questions and then answers. I'm just proposing that we do this as a thing every week. Questions, then answers.
I will say, this was not planned. We were going from the Dark Wizard to the Dark Ranger, because here's the first letter of the day. Hey, Abby. That's how they opened it. We love a unique opening.
We told you you could do that. We may take it back at some point, though.
I know this is kind of a morbid question, but you always say, there are no dumb questions.
I do. Twice a show.
You do always say that. Multiple times a show, actually.
That's right.
So hopefully that also goes for dark matter. Inquiring minds, mine, want to know, what is the deadliest national park in the United States? I have my theories, but you're the brain trust. Hit me with them facts, sister. Signed, The Dark Ranger.
I like this one. I like also that you called me the brain trust, so thank you. I'm not including Colin in that. You may have included Colin in that, but this is for me. I'm Abby. Hey. Oh, man. I love this. Not only is this not a dumb question, but I think it's one that a lot of people probably have wondered about over the years, because I think as humans, we just love thinking about the dark stuff, even though we don't always want to admit it. It's why, serial killer podcasts are so popular.
Yes.
You know what? I think you're going to be surprised, Dark Ranger, and maybe a lot of you listening, and maybe even you, Colin. But first, let's acknowledge that deadliest can actually be defined in two ways. So first, as a percentage. So that's sheer rate of deaths when you look at total park visitation. So if a park gets X number of visitors a year, how many of those folks end up traveling to the great national park in the sky? That is one way to look at it. The other is just more of a numbers game, and this is the one I bet you're thinking of, Dark Ranger. Just a flat out, how many people have died while visiting this national park? So let's start with the surprising one. If you are a betting person, Dark Ranger, go ahead and get your bets going right now. I hear there's a lot of apps for that. You can bet on things like, I don't know, national security or whatever people are betting on now, everyone in Congress. So let's get into it. The deadliest national park by death rate. Colin, did you look at my notes on this, or are you coming in without knowing?
I just saw it.
Damn it, Colin. No.
Do you want me to
Nope,
fake it?
I don't want you to lie. Just sit there and be quiet. You've ruined it. All right. So,
it's Acadia.
Yep. It's all those. No. What even lives there? Is it just birds? It's all those birds.
Seals, probably, right?
Seals.
Yeah,
seals. Seals could get angry. I mean,
New England coastline known for its great whites, maybe? You know, a lot of maybe I don't think there's any shark attacks in Acadia.
And not that you know of, but maybe.
No.
I mean, no, we're not gonna. That is not it. That is not it. The deadliest national park by death rate is North Cascades National Park, which is in Washington State.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I bet a lot of people listening did not even realize we had a North Cascades National Park. So
I was just saying, isn't it one of the like lower visited parks? Because I lived up there. Everyone should go to North Cascades National Park. It is amazing. It feels like you're in the Alps. It's like one of the most, along with the Sierra, probably the most striking range of mountains I think we have in this country. So go check it out, but don't die while you're there.
Don't add yourself to the statistics. But part of what Colin said is going to come into play here.
Oh,
yeah.
Spoilers.
So listen, the national average rate, in case you were wondering, is 30 deaths per 10 million visitors. And that's like across the national parks. So that is a pretty tiny number in the scheme of things. But North Cascades is insanely high. Over 600 deaths per 10 million visitors.
What the hell?
So yeah,
you know, it's the free bag of heroin they give you when you can check in there.
That's
like,
what
there
it
you go.
is.
Why do people keep dying? Is it the heroin?
It's weird. Yeah. Yeah. What the hell is going on there? Well, I'm going to tell you.
Okay, good.
So let's first of all, this kind of goes to what Colin was saying. Let's be frank about these numbers. Nobody goes there. So they get somewhere between 30,000 to 47,000 visitors a year. That's kind of the average right now. And that is peanuts, tiny, tiny peanuts compared to other parks. So like Everglades gets about 1 million a year. Yosemite gets 4 million. Smoky Mountains gets over 12 million. And I think a lot of that is because you're driving through that park.
It's a fucking crime that the Everglades outdraws North Cascades National Park. No offense, Florida.
What do you have
Everglades
against alligators?
I'm just saying.
Listen, you could go pet your own alligator, Colin. Why is that not appealing to you? It's appealing to a lot of other people.
Are there alligators in North Cascades?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you could bring one. You could introduce a new species. See if that ups the death rate.
I really feel like you're underachieving North Cascades.
We need to go a little harder. But it is, so a lot of this is actually it's not just a numbers game. It is about the park's location. So like you just mentioned, it is this gorgeous, remote, really intense mountain range, essentially.
Yeah, serious, very intense.
Super remote, largely alpine. It has very little infrastructure, very little front country visitation. It's not like Yosemite where you got the valley and you can go eat pizza or whatever. It's also about how the people visit this park. All of them. It is a huge draw for alpinists. So, this is where, some of the most, Fred Beckey was doing things there back in the day. It's like some of the most, earliest kind of climbing moments, memories. What was I going to say?
I have no idea.
Seminal climbs happened there. We'll just go with that. They're in books, people, okay? If you read books, they're in there. So North Cascades was kind of like a proving ground for early alpinists in the U.S., so like 40% of the deaths are attributed to hiking, climbing incidents. Lesser number due to rock fall. There's a lot of rock. It's melting in the spring. You got some unstable situations there. And of course, the least exciting, car accidents, which is actually a factor at a lot of the national parks. It's a very high number just because we people like to get into car accidents. You just have nature being nature. Animal collisions, rockfall, humans doing stuff. Like it's just, that's what's happening out there. I do think my favorite quote, which I saw in an NBC article about the park's deadliness, was a ranger who just said, "It would be easy to die in that park." Okay, cool.
No, it is like when you start looking at, we were up on Baker Lake and we're like, oh, look, we're right by North Cascades. Let's go check it out. And it is like, to exact point, like the valley, or even like back to Arches, like it's a really relatively easy short hike to get to Delicate Arch and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. This is like, there's like 2 hikes that you can kind of just stroll up there and see something. For the most part, if you're going in that park, you better be ready to go out into the mountainous backcountry because that's really what's there.
You're going deep. I can't do that. Can you do that in your voice?
You're going deep.
Coming next fall on Netflix.
The Dark Ranger goes deep, coming to Netflix.
I think that's HBO After Dark. Skinemax.
Yeah.
That's what you watch in a hotel room when you're on a work trip. Not you, just someone. So I guess keep that in mind if you visit North Cascades. Deadly. But Dark Ranger, I bet I know which park you figured was the deadliest. And if you said the Grand Canyon, you're right if the measure is the total number of deaths at the park. Yeah. So the rate is much lower because the Grand Canyon sees something like 5 million visitors a year.
Yeah.
But in a mere 16-year time span, that is 2007 to 2023, over 130 people died at the Grand Canyon. Not small numbers. I mean, small in comparison to how many people are there. So your odds are good if you go to the Grand Canyon that you're going to walk away alive. But some of you won't. And the number one way you might go is medical issues. And that is specifically heat-related cardiac arrest. So people are getting down in that canyon, not realizing, even though there's signs everywhere, that it's very hot, and then trying to climb out of it. And you know, that's how people are going. Falls and drowning, of course, are pretty high up there. You know, there's actually a great book. It's not called Off the Wall. It's called Out Off the Into the Canyon. It's a great book about death in the park. There's one for Yosemite. There's one for Grand Canyon. Off the Wall. It's like Michael something with a G is his last name. I'm really giving you a lot to go off of here.
The most well-researched podcast of all time.
You know, Colin, you could be helping me here by researching this.
Oh, do you want me to do producer work?
Into the
Grand Canyon. What's it about?
Do your damn job. Just type in Death Grand Canyon book. I feel like that
Death
Google will
book.
give you what you need. Just
Over the Edge.
Thank you. Over the Edge. Off the Wall. What
Grand
am I?
Canyon
It's like a
Death book. First
skateboarding.
Yeah, it's
You know
older
what,
than
y'all?
Vans. I don't think Vans sponsors the Grand Canyon.
I have been up since 3:30 this morning. Okay, in my defense. I've been awake for 12 hours.
They really do try to warn you that it's the only place where you go when there's a sign and they show someone bending over vomiting like on the side, like the heat will kill you, and yet still people go down probably when they shouldn't. Like I'll be fine. Like when they got I have my bottle of like Nestle spring water. I'll be fine. You know,
my little tiny. I got it at Walmart. Listen, I want y'all, if whoever's listening who hasn't been to the Grand and you're gonna go, I want you to imagine Colin and I there with you, chastising you if you don't do it right. So please come out alive.
Did you read the Grand Canyon Death book?
Did you read? You know that one?
That one?
Michael G. wrote it. But you know what? Actually, historically,
Yeah.
the highest incident of death in the park was aviation related. And that is because of a single tragedy, though. So it's one thing. Happened in 1956. 2 commercial airliners collided above the canyon. All 128 people on board were lost. The fascinating thing about this is that crash is one of the reasons we have the FAA today.
No way.
Yes. FAA did not exist before 1958. That's when it got signed into power. Air traffic control was super decentralized. Pilots were kind of on their own. And remember, commercial air was not a big deal. That you were coming out of 2 wars. It was not a big deal until it got into like the mid 50s. And then they're like, oops, there's a lot of planes up here. Someone needs to coordinate this. This accident happens. And it was the first time in history that over 100 people were lost in a commercial airline accident. It was a big deal when it happened. So you have that, the Grand Canyon, the deadliest national park by numbers. Also why we have air safety today. So I guess that's the silver lining. So anyway, Dark Ranger, thank you for this excuse to go down a fascinating rabbit hole. And I guess stay safe out there.
That is amazing. I mean, what are the odds of like a midair collision? I mean, it makes more sense when there is the FAA and they make a mistake and like actually direct 2 planes towards each other versus just randomly above the Grand. I mean, hey, look, there it is.
Well, they were
another
sightseeing,
plane.
I think. I think one might have been a sightseeing. No, but they were both commercial. I don't know. It's so
Crazy.
It's so wild to me. But yeah, that I was stunned to discover that. That is one of the big reasons we have airline safety. I know. You know what? You learn something new every week on the Gearabby podcast.
You really do.
You do. Me, you, everyone, all of us.
It is funny about the North Cascades. I mean, that is I lived in Washington, I think, for 2 years before I found out that it was like another national park up there because we were so like, oh, there's Rainier and there's Olympic and all that, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what?
Where are they putting all these
is that
mountains?
a forest? No, national park. It's a national park.
That's how I feel about all the redwoods here. I always forget there's like state parks and national park. I'm like, wait, what's up? Why don't we just all get together and be one happy redwood family?
Maybe this is just proves that I'm a hipster national park guy because I haven't been to Yosemite, but I've been to North Cascades.
Where else have you been? Have you been to what's the underwater one? I was going to say
Atlantis?
Galapagos, but that's not Atlantis. Have you been to Atlantis?
I have.
Okay, well, you can stay on this podcast then. We'll talk about that next. Somebody send us an Atlantis question.
I would love that.
Oh my gosh, I would. All right, well, I think people probably sent us more realistic questions, so what's up next?
Okay, next question. Dear Gear Abby, hello from Boise, Idaho. Hello, Boise, Idaho. I could use a little help. My boyfriend and I are planning a trip to the Grand Canyon. Whoa, serendipitous.
Whoa.
Careful, don't take a plane.
We got some rules for you.
We want to go soon before it gets too hot. We're hoping to go all the way down to the bottom and then hike back up in the same day. We're both pretty fit. We run, backpack, belong to a CrossFit gym, etc. Here's the issue. I suggested he start training with trekking poles because it's such a huge elevation gain and loss in one day. True. And most importantly, he has knee issues. That was all caps. I love how people, when they emphasize things, it gives me a chance to get really animated.
I know you like it.
The last thing I want for him is to get hurt or even be in pain, especially since this is a big bucket list item for him and we're checking it off for his 40th. He quite literally said,
You okay over there?
trekking poles are stupid. I'm not using them. But this guy has a lot in common with my 15-year-old daughter.
And then he stomped on the ground and went,
Yeah. Fuck off with your trekking poles. Reminder, this man is turning 40. A nearly 40-year-old man said that. I hope this person plays this for her husband.
I hope so, too.
Or boyfriend. Anyways, I'm not trying to be his mother, promise. And I absolutely won't force him to do something he's dead set against. Maybe you should. I just want to encourage him to at least try the pair that I bought him. Can you share anything that might help me convince him to try? Thank you so much. Signed, Cheryl. I don't know what Gear Abby's going to say, but I imagine it's going to be a fair amount of browbeating is what we're going to do to try.
I want you, Cheryl, to play this entire segment for your husband. Just play it in the background, but hide wherever the source is. Like hide your phone so he can't find it. Just has to listen to it until he agrees.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I'm sorry that your hubs is dealing with knee issues, and I'm sorry that he's weirdly anti-trekking pole, maybe a little, maybe not the smartest,
I was once as well when I was like 22. And I'm like, I don't need those things. And then you use them and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Or sorry, I should say
sure.
boyfriend, not the husband. I'm just assuming this is a stubborn husband. All right. So we did. Sorry also that we just talked about how many people die in the Grand Canyon, but maybe play that segment for him as well. I don't know.
Well, she said before it gets too hot. So
See?
that's good. She's on the right. Cheryl, you're on the right path here.
Cheryl, you're doing a good job. Okay?
Yes.
We're not sure about your boyfriend. But yeah, just like Colin said, I also used to think trekking poles were stupid, but that was when I was a lot younger and less experienced. Right?
Same.
Yep. I remember my conversion happened after I was getting ready to go climb Kilimanjaro, and the guides were like, "You need trekking poles." I was like, "No, I don't. I'm not going to use them." Do you know
who you're speaking to? I do not need trekking poles, sir.
Pre-Gear Abby. I'm one day going to be a podcast host called Gear Abby. I don't need trekking poles. Yeah, no, I was super, so I'm like, ugh, okay, fine, I'll get some, I'll try it. And I tried them at home, of course, as you should with all new gear. And at first it's just really weird. I feel like I was learning how to walk for the first time. I did nothing, it was not in rhythm. But then something actually clicked. I remember being on a really steep downhill at the end of a long day. We'd been out all day. And I just realized, I was like, oh, these actually help. Okay, I get it now. And I played soccer for 13 years, and the only reason I stopped is because in the middle of a game, my patella slid over to the side, which is not a
I
thing
think
it
we need
should
a warning before you say things like your patella slid to the side.
I wish I would have had a warning before it slid to the side.
That's fair.
Yeah, I just went down. It was like, boop. Sorry to everybody, including Colin, for that mental image. But so I had for the longest time just excruciating pain on downhills when I hiked, but I just wrote it off. I was like, listen, this is what I must live with for the rest of my life. I've done this to myself. There's no way I could possibly make this better. And then I stopped bouncing back. Like it stopped being doable, and the pain just it would linger on and on and on. And
what kind of... Oh, go ahead.
Do you want me to describe it on a scale of 1 to 10?
No, I want to know what kind of music the sliding patellas would play.
Sliding patellas. That is probably a klezmer band. I don't know. I think. Plays at weddings. Yeah, sliding patellas. Slide into my DMs if you are in a band called the Sliding Patellas, because I just want to know if you exist. That's all.
Do your patellas have to slide around to be able to join the band?
That's how they
Is that a
make the
requirement?
music.
They all sit down while they play.
They sit down, but they stand up and sit down, and it just clicks a bunch.
Like,
That's their music
God,
is
that
clicking.
crunch?
Yeah, it's avant-garde. Yeah, very experimental. But yeah, once I started using trekking poles, the patella was like, I shall no longer be in this band. I'm going to stay where I belong. And it got me back on trail. It actually helped me stay pain-free. It helped me fall in love with backpacking. Like, all of that made my life easier. It was quite literally a knee saver.
Right.
Yeah. So, what was it? Cheryl, I do not know which way you're hiking, but let's say you're doing what most people do, which is go down south kebab down. I always want to say kebab.
Is it a kebab or is it?
It is kebab, but I want to say kebab.
Kebab. Love a good kebab.
Slide the vegetables.
Although
on the
I never
kebab.
eat the vegetable. I always eat you get the chicken and then it's just like these sort of like charred peppers. Like, I'm not eating those.
I don't like. I get acid reflux from peppers. Just from the garden variety bell pepper. Any other pepper like serrano, I'm good with. Jalapeno,
That's
whatever.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Like the hotter they are, the better.
lesser.
Like the more mild everyday bell pepper, like no
I'm
bueno.
Cuban, I don't know. It must be something in my blood. We're not made for those lesser peppers. So anyway, Cheryl, you're probably doing South Shish Kebab down and Bright Angel back up. That's my guess. That's about 17 miles. It's something like 4,700 feet of loss, another 4,300 feet of gain. And as you no doubt, as we just talked about, it gets real hot as fuck down there. Okay, it makes it even harder coming back up. So in this case, though, when you have knee issues, quite often it is the downhill that gets you, especially, it really depends. Like with mine, that was absolutely the case. And, if it's a recurring issue, which it sounds like it might be for him, he may actually want to talk to his doctor or a PT or something before you do this trip. And maybe, see if there's any specific training he should be doing to strengthen the areas around his knee. Maybe any special precautions, like, I don't know, using trekking poles or something. I don't know. That would let you wash your hands of the entire thing, Cheryl. You could be free. You could be like, honey, the doctor said that you'll end up in a tear-stained heap on the bottom of the Grand Canyon if you don't use poles,
I mean, the funny thing is on this one is it's like, even if you don't need trekking poles, this is the kind of the one hikes where it's like it makes sense to take trekking poles because it is all up and all down, and trekking poles help in both directions. I get it if you're like on a normal hike, you're like, I don't really need them. I don't like taking them.
Yeah.
Or I prefer not. Sure, preferences exist, but this is one where it's like, take trekking poles on this hike if no other one that you do, because you're only moving in up or down. There's no flats.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you worried about not looking cool? Nobody looks cool when they're hiking. That's not a thing. It's never existed. So whatever. You know what looks less cool is you on a heap in the ground, like you laying on the ground,
and your
not
knee
able
is
to
swollen
walk.
up like a grapefruit.
Yep. That's the least cool thing.
Yes.
So I'd say even, if he remains stubborn, just point out that people use trekking poles in all sorts of ways. There are all sorts of poles out there. He doesn't have to use them every second of the hike. It's not like you're going to be standing there, being like, get those back in your hand. They'll come in really handy for that shock absorption on the way down, and maybe to lean on when he feels like he's going to die a little bit on the way up.
Which will happen.
Which will happen. And you're going to be sitting there panting. It's nice to have something to lean on and pant on. And, let's say you said you got him some poles. Maybe he's not into those poles. There are a lot of different poles out there. If you want something lighter, there's ultralight poles.
Yeah, we don't kink shame about poles,
That's right. You pick the pole that works for you,
You lean on that pole.
You lean on it. You grab it with both hands. One hand each on a separate pole. I don't know.
You have two poles? Whoa.
Whoa. So now it's bragging
getting kinky
rights.
around here.
Tell your husband he can have two poles, or your boyfriend. See what he says about that. Tell all the guys at work.
Maybe that's what he's worried about. Maybe that's he's a little afraid of the of two poles.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to say also there's folding poles, but you may not want to tell him about that. That might hurt him inside. But the folding poles are great. I use those when I'm trail running and I need to just bring them out for steep areas. But at the end of the day, he is a grown man. He's going to do what he wants with or without his pole. But as a couple, I hope that you have good enough communication between you to set up a plan and kind of manage expectations for the day. Like, hey, if either of us, not naming names, isn't feeling great or say has knee problems, here's our bailout plan.
Probably won't be me because I'm
Probably
carrying
won't be
trekking
me, but
poles.
I'll just say either of us. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
be
whatever.
doing-
You never know. You never know. Yeah.
I'll be trying to preserve my body for the future, but you do you. If he's a fan of former Gear Abbey guest Killian Jornet, which is the only way I'll refer to him from now on.
I think that's how he introduces himself now
I
in
think
public,
so.
actually.
I think so. I'll have to go look. Next documentary. Let him know that even the greatest mountain runner goat of all time uses trekking poles here and there. Or maybe you could just ask people in your CrossFit gym to start casually talking about how much of a pump they get when they use their poles. I don't know whatever y'all say in CrossFit gyms, but just there's some lingo. You could throw that in there. Like, bruh. It sounds like a euphemism. I'm really sorry for that. But I feel like there's somebody at the CrossFit gym that can get this message to him in some way. It could be adrenaline.
What's the kind of like pull-ups that you do in the kipping? Or is there a kipping version of
which looks like the world's most useless exercise? You could tell, like, honey, have you ever kipped with a pole? That sounds sensual. You know, for someone who's into CrossFit, this could be something for your time in the bedroom. This could be an enticement.
What if these folks are Polish too? That it just like this works on all sorts of levels, right?
Yeah, then it's a cultural thing for you. It's really, listen, you can't go wrong, Cheryl. Just play this episode, play the segment before it, follow it with this one.
It's you're 2 for 2 right now, Cheryl. Your question and the one before it. I do get like we're taking the piss out of your guy, obviously, but I do understand. I definitely when I started hiking. I had no problem doing winter hikes with poles, like when it was deep snow and stuff like that. That seemed, and snowshoes on, that seemed to make perfect sense. But in the summertime, I would refuse to take my trekking poles. And then you start doing it, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, actually, it's way better.
Yeah. And
then same thing running, like as I was winding down my trail running career, like I don't need poles. And then you go out for you're like, oh, it's gonna be a steep trail, and I took a pair out, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is just, get to your point, like. And I know that there are some sections, especially you get down near the river on the Grand Canyon where it is flat. Then if you're just walking, you just hold both poles or put them in your pack or whatever it is. But definitely, I get it, but also you are truly like. You're gonna have less of a good experience without them. So just give it a try before you go. I'm sure if there's a mountain around your house, if it's short, just go up and down a few times. You'll see, sir, it is better with the trekking poles.
Sir.
Sir.
Always a sir. I love that. I like it when people send in questions where they're like, help me tell someone to do something. That's all I want. Life is just to be your gentle guide, or maybe not so gentle guide.
Right. I don't want to be a nag, so you get to be for me.
Yep. That's what I do professionally. So here we are. Let me live my life so you can live yours. Really does scratch an itch. I don't have any kids to do this with. I'm not married, so this is great. Really works for me.
It's truly the young and inexperienced thing. That's why I said it's like, oh, this is something that my kid would say. And it's something that I said, and you obviously said too when you were younger. And then you get old, and you're like, oh, no, it's better. Damn it.
Yeah, at 40, though, I wouldn't be saying that. Or almost 40, on the edge of 40, as it was. Maybe at the edge of 17, I don't know. Maybe mentally. All right. Well, we have time for one more question, as always. What you got?
Well, Shawnté, you're about to be very excited because it's been far too long since I've said your 4 favorite words.
Oh, my God.
How big is your trekking pole? That's more than 4 words.
No.
Okay. 4 favorite words are, what's in your pack? When we talk about what's in Shawnté's pack.
It's trekking poles.
It's trekking poles. In the Grand Canyon and at Arches National Park.
One in each hand and one on each foot. I carry them all. I don't even know how that would work, but I would try it if it was a thing.
A trekking pole for every appendage.
Every appendage.
You have 10 off your fingers. Like, oh, look at me go.
Ooh, like Edward trekking pole hands.
Right. Or you're doing marionettes. Is there marionettes?
Right? You can drag. Maybe we could drag Cheryl's boyfriend back up with our marionette poles.
Yeah, it wouldn't be creepy at all to see someone carrying puppets around while out in the backcountry. That wouldn't be weird.
Terrifying. Oh my God. All right. Well, none of those things are in my pack. I do not have puppets in there. No marionettes. Don't worry. Not a serial killer. You can rest assured. I actually feel like I mentioned it kind of once. But we're going to go deep dive because I was thinking about it the other day because it was sprinkling. That's all we get for rain these days. It's just somebody, like the sky spits for a minute and then you have to be happy with it. Just a sprinkle. So it made me think of one of the weirdest, but also weirdly most versatile things I've used while backpacking, and that is a rain skirt. So I have to say, first of all, I apologize, but all I can think of for some reason when I think of the word skirt is that SNL rap roundtable skit where Timothy Chalamet and Pete Davidson are emo rappers and they just keep saying, yeet, yeet, skirt, skirt.
Oh, that's a legendary sketch.
It's so good. If you haven't seen it, just Google it. Don't wait till
It's
the
so
end of
good.
the podcast, though. Keep listening.
Chalamet's up there with like Ryan Gosling is like, you could just be part of the cast. You're so good at this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But neither of those guys goes backpacking with me, so we're gonna stick to the rain skirt here.
Do they
So
use trekking poles?
you know what? That's a good question. I bet they would.
bet Gosling does.
Gosling probably does.
Yeah.
Well, Colin, what do you think when I say rain skirt? Before I get into this, what image comes to your mind?
I'm torn. I'm like, is this actually like a skirt that you're wearing that's waterproof, which sounds kind of ridiculous because this is like a very odd spot to keep dry when the rest of you may not be. I also think
My
is
loins. I want dry loins.
I think we've talked about dry loins before on this podcast multiple times. I think, and then or is it something for your pack, kind of like something specifically to keep some part of your what part? So I really am at a loss on this one.
I love that. It's number one, but maybe not in the way you're thinking.
Okay.
So first of all, not gonna lie, I resisted buying one for a long time because I thought it was a dumb idea. Like, this is why rain pants exist, right? I will admit, I tried to make a rain skirt out of a garbage bag on the PCT because I saw other people doing it and I was highly impressionable. I just literally cut the bottom off of one of those kind of kitchen-sized bags and I thought I could just use the ties to cinch it around my waist when it was raining.
Hobo chic.
This is dirtbag chic. This is what we do on the trail. I think it actually ripped in my pack before I ever got to try it. So then one time I did try to pull it on, it just flapped around in the wind. So it did absolutely nothing for me. And I think it just got moist in there. So it did not do
the opposite effect.
The opposite effect. Sorry also for saying the word moist. For anybody who is that has a reaction to that word.
Should I bleep it out and see if people know what it is that you said?
Yes.
Okay, good.
But then I just gave in. I would always bring rain pants because that's what they do. They repel rain. And I am not going to lie, they saved me on the Colorado Trail because I was hiking during the monsoon and everything was damp 24/7. It was just truly miserable. So Colorado traumatized me and I will always carry rain pants there. There's nothing can convince me otherwise. But 2 years ago, I do not know why, I finally decided one day randomly to splurge on a rain skirt. And it is the Rain Wrap by Enlightened Equipment. And I felt stupid as soon as I hit buy. I was like, shit, I'm going to have to return this as soon as it gets here. Why did I do that? Like instant buyer's remorse.
I'm fully in past Shawnté's spot on this. So I'm hoping by the end you have brought me around to current Shawnté's point of view on this.
That's fair. Yeah, I was like, there's no way this 1 ounce piece of sil nylon is going to be worth the absurd amount of money I just spent on it. This is the dumbest thing I've ever bought. But I love it. So first of all, it has a cinch at the waist, okay? So much better than the garbage bag.
Not a garbage bag strap.
not a garbage bag strap. And it has a couple snaps down the front so you can keep it closed all the way, part way, you can open it all the way, whatever floats your boat. So it's got versatility built in. It's small enough that I just stash it in a hip belt in my pack. This is the best part. It takes me like 2 nanoseconds to pull it out and snap it on. So I don't have to stop. I don't have to take my pack off. I don't have to fumble around for rain pants, try to pull them on over my shoes without falling on my ass, which is impossible. So in that way, this thing is a miracle. Do I look dumb as shit while I wear it? Hell yeah. Yes, I look like an idiot. I'm sure this is someone's kink. We don't shame.
Oh, yeah.
It's not mine. It is not my kink. It is not sexy to me. But, maybe people who are into kilts are like, hey, I love that sil nylon kilt you're wearing. Wow. Don't email me if that's your thing.
Doubtful.
Please don't. I don't have pictures of myself in it.
This is the most asexual piece of gear of all time.
It really is. Trekking poles are way sexier, okay?
Yeah.
But I will say...
We should do a poll on what's the sexiest gear.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, we should. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get on that. We'll figure it out.
All right.
I will say it's also much more breathable than pants. So, and it's considering it's all open in the bottom. So the loins are dry in 2 ways. Okay. They're not getting condensation on there. You're not getting sweat going on. It's a nice time for me in my loins when I wear the rain skirt.
And it's not your kink.
And it's not my kink. So I'm just saying this from a pure, I was going to say medical perspective, but that's not it either. I don't know. Just listen, I stay dry in all the places that need to be dry. All right. So it's also versatile. Colin is losing it. I feel like this is 2 episodes in a row where I've made you laugh so hard that you
that's
just
really funny.
do the silent laugh and you're crying a little bit. I find that I'm actually warmer when I'm sitting out a rainstorm, like I'm waiting under a tree because, you got the skirt kind of pulled over your knees. I'm sitting in my pack or something. It's probably the same concept as why mittens are warmer than gloves. It's because your little body parts don't have the fabric in between. The body parts are just in there with all the trapped heat. That's what I think. Okay. I've also used it as a pack cover, which is kind of your second guess as to what it was. I've used it to make a sunshade when I'm sitting and taking a break and there's no shade. I've used it as a tarp to sit on during breaks. And then it's where I throw all of the stuff out of my tent in the morning when I'm packing up, so it's not just sitting in the dirt. So I have to say, the rain skirt, 900% worth it for me, and I will defend it until the day I die.
Okay, you didn't convince me at all until I went and Googled it. Because in my head, I'm literally thinking it's more like almost like a running skirt. And I'm like, what is the
flouncy?
fucking point? Like it's short like that, like a little short, like above the knee.
Why would it be wearing a mini
I don't
skirt?
know. I didn't understand what this thing really was. And so I'm like, what is this? And it's like at that
rain
point,
belt. It just keeps my midsection dry.
Yeah, no, it goes down to like mid calf at least, right?
Yes.
And so at that point, okay, great, you throw it. Okay, I get it. Okay. I do get it.
Yeah,
yep.
I mean, it's going to cover most of the same ground. Your ankles, your ankles. It's fine. Let your ankles get wet.
You're probably, I mean, if you're in rain pants, your shoes are going to get wet anyway. So
yes,
it's not going to prevent any of that, right? But I will say I'm going full Cheryl's husband here, and I am not wearing a rain skirt.
I want you to wear Cheryl's husband. Listen, Cheryl, get a rain skirt for your husband and be like, you pick. It's either the rain skirt or the trekking poles.
If that guy chooses a rain skirt over trekking poles, Cheryl's got real problems.
Good luck to you, Cheryl. Well, that's it for this episode of Gear Abby. Until next time, send your burning questions about your relationships with outdoor products, people, places, and pastimes over to deargearabby@gmail.com, and I'm going to do my best to answer them or find someone else who can. And of course, head over to your podcast listening service of choice and subscribe, rate, and review to support the pod and make my day, and maybe Colin's too. Follow us on Instagram at gearabbypod. In the meantime, today's episode was produced by this guy, Colin True. You. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't have anything today.
He doesn't always have it in him. It's because you don't have a pair of trekking poles to pump you up right now.
Or a rain skirt.
Or a rain skirt. Next time, you might be getting a birthday present from me.
Oh, no.
And me, who am I? I'm Shawnté Salabert. And remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice.